You can crunch it in the vise. We have a new one. Oh, we're not going to. Just going to throw it away when we're done. Want some lube on that, or are you good? Kendra can grab the lube, or hold it up for Grandpa. Or I'll grab it. And there we go.
It's nice and free.
So let me.
So, here comes the reassembly.
So I'll just. There's your 3 springs. You got your one gray one that goes across the bottom. You got this one that holds the top apart. And you have this one that goes like this. Of course, this thingy, as you can tell, this shoe, which is a new one, duplicate of that guy, got the.
Parking brake, lever.
So, I recommend, well, you don't want to really touch the shoe much, but if you touch it, you always want to go through and clean everything off. And anyway, once we get our new drum, which is sitting somewhere, I forgot where I put it. Oh, it's up there. Just have no fear, we have it.
We got it.
So, this, the lever has to go to the back, of course, because this one has to go to the back of the car, and has to go to, like, the backing plate. So it has to go, like, that way. Okay. So, it's easiest to start with putting on that. Before you do that, you want to make sure that this still kind of fits in there. So you kind of want to get that in there. So I can see if I can. There we go. So you can see it fits there, and the little adjustment guy does the adjustment thingies.
Yep, one's free.
Oh, came out on me.
Man down.
Amanda. So now you wanna, if I can push that back in a little bit. Alright, it's kind of like a ratchet. So now that's not really gonna fall out. So you wanna try to get it as far as you can, closest together, so it's easy to get all these springs that shoot across the universe. Just that goes somewhat like that. So now you kind of have these in. So, of course, it comes with all these new pins, but as you see, we broke the end of that one off. It's just supposed to be like this, but on the other side, we didn't push.
We fought for long enough with those, so we're using tried and true.
The factory.
The old guys.
Because what happened is we didn't push this in far enough, so it went and when Dad tried to twist it, it twisted and it twisted the end of this off.
Mushroomed out.
Because it's not like welded or anything, it's just like crimped out, so it's flat on the end.
She squished.
So, okay. So, we'll get our pins, so our little valves, we'll say. So, these will shoot in right about there. See?
Right there, yep.
And you got this guy that shoots them through here. So those guys, we'll just dangle it for a second. So, you gotta make sure when you do this, of course, like I said before, don't take this apart. It's just terrible to fight with. So, get it all the way in. Get it with this. The adjuster, this adjuster side is gonna point to the front. And you see how there's these little divots here, okay? Also, you see how there's like a little rubber stoppy thingy here too. So, this, when it slowly adjusts, this goes out like this. So, that's why there's that stop there, so it can't really like hit that.
There's room for it to move.
And it's weird because they use the same identical pad on either side. Well, I shouldn't say pad, the identical backing plate.
It's mirrored, yeah.
And they just drill a different hole in it. Because the other side, there's a hole on this side, technically. So, we got this. This side goes on that side, like I just did. Huh?
Good test.
So that one, and you see there's all these little, like, standoffs, which we will lube, but you want to lube them up. So that sits something about there. And the other pad comes up here. So we're going to do quick. We're going to go through and put a little bit of lube on these. So we went through and cleaned all of them.
Behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, there's a view.
That's where you keep your lube. So you just want to just a little. See, just
Wherever those little kind of etched marks is where pieces rub
See?
on it. So
Permatex, the brake lubricant, not a sponsor, but
Nope.
it's good.
So Eric O from South Maine always swore by this. So we picked up a jug maybe 2 years ago. And
It was about 3, 4
and,
maybe.
It lasts a super long time.
We've
but
only
it's
used maybe a third of it.
Super slick.
We only use it like a few times a year though.
Yep, just using it for brake jobs.
It's just as good as anti-seize or better. It's not silver though, so it does come off a lot easier.
Yeah, it doesn't make you look like Iron Man as much. Like that.
See, some anti-seize on those from all that. So now that's in there. So we'll get this kind of hanging in there. So then that's in there. It takes multiple hands to do this.
So we'll pause quick and we'll get that pin in.
Okay, so. Okay, so as you can see, we got that clip on. So all you do is you have your little. So pretend this is through the backing plate, of course. Just you gotta have like 5 hands to do everything. Maybe only 4, but you know. So that sticks through there. And then what you gotta do is you gotta press the clip in. Each thing to do is like press down on it, like right here with the screwdriver. Of course, not on a foam surface though. So then that pushes it in, and then use some sort of punch or maybe something that you were gonna use, and then you ended up using it for something different. Like this is when we were trying to hold these in the back. We tried to like build this to like
C-clamp to hold it in. And
to be able to like clamp it off to the side.
good times.
Yep, and then we realized, just do this. It's way easier. So this is nice because you have a little hammer spot right here. So you can just, so all you do is you get your clip, pretend it's all squished down by so somebody's holding the back of the pin. So this is my one hand back here. Somebody's holding that, and then pretend this barely fits under here, like that. So then somebody presses this down. Well, that's being pressed down by somebody. And you take your other person, the other person taparoo.
And that's the finished product. Great.
So then it should end up like that. It's got like a little bit of tension on it, as you can see. It's resting on all those loopy places down here. And eventually, it should rest on, there's like a little plate right here. And it should, you see how there's little ears that come off. So your little plate that sits like this kind of sorta, it should go over the edge of those because then it helps keep those from pulling out. So now that we have that side in, our adjuster's in there, so we don't have to worry about that. As we can just sit there and pull the parking brake over and over again to adjust stuff. So then we should be able just to get, you should be able just to get this side in. This side just kind of clips in there. And of course you gotta put this pin in, which we'll do in a sec. You put that pad on, down, and then you can start, then you have to put the wheel cylinder in, and then you can start putting on springs. So we'll do this on quick. Which I almost forgot, but I didn't quite. Is you gotta get your parking brake cable on, because when you put this on, you gotta get that on. So this, what you gotta do is you gotta grab on here. This takes multiple people, so we're not gonna record this. And then some elderly person that has beefy hands, like that guy over there, I shouldn't say quite elderly.
Old enough.
He's an older. So, you gotta take your 40-year-old man. You just gotta like just grab on here, and you just gotta just push up on that. And then when that is pushed up, so there's like gonna be like a gap in here. And once that gap's high enough, you can clamp that in there.
Needle nose.
Let's grab the needle nose vice grip. And then once you have the ability, after you're done with that, then you take that vice grip off. You just take that, holds the same size as that. You put it on, and then you should be able to turn it over, and then it should end up like that's connected like that, and it should just go on. So we're gonna do that quick. Whoosh. So once your 40-year-old man push this up enough, you can put this on here. Once you get enough room to put that on, then you can quick undo this, but still hold it up here, and then you can have
So take.
that person push it up a little bit more
Yep.
to have enough gap in there to be able to fit about that much in there. So now that that's open, we can take our one vice grip off, and then and now
Should be enough room. Stick around.
there, you gotta like kind of pressure it in, and then
Take that off.
there you go. It's as simple as that. Just a little bit of spring load in this.
And the spring pressure holds it in place.
And this thing just kind of sits, well, kind of sits, I should say. She just sits right up here. And the only thing is this one's kind of hard to get in here, of course. You gotta get this thing lined up, and your spring is pushing against you the whole way. So you gotta get it underneath the edge of this the little plate thingy.
So that one's the hardest one, but you got to do it the front one first, and then that one that we found is the easiest. So we're trying to get that top brake line back in while we have the most flexibility on the bottom.
Or so they say.
Is it getting finger tight?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So now it's just gonna leak brake fluid down here now. Or we're trying to put stuff in, but you know, that's fine.
Well, they're all finger tightish, right?
Okay.
So it'll leak a little. That's okay.
So we got the one bolt. Wherever we put the other bolt.
Well, that's fine. And we found both bolts. There we go.
Like two milliseconds later.
Okay, here we go.
As you can tell by the sun.
That's right, the sun.
Yep, the sun. So all I gotta do is just kind of you just gotta do it. Just gotta put it in.
No fear.
No fear.
Did Mama raise a punk?
Nope, Mama didn't raise no punk.
Thank you, Puddin'. So we tested all the bolts, make sure they go in clean. Clean the threads a little bit, just so it goes easy. Threw on the ground a few times, just for fun.
It just adds to the effect.
Sometimes there's some auto ejection going on.
Just the drama, of course. You gotta
We don't want to lose the shop, Kendrick. We gotta.
no, we don't want to lose the shop.
You got it both finger tight.
They're hard to spin in, so I'll just.
So you want to get them in started by hand,
Yep,
right?
I got them all started in by hand already.
All right.
I can.
The best advice for rusty Minnesota threads: start everything by hand. Use wrenches smaller than you need, so you're not going to worry about any bad things happening.
Torque to factory spec. I'll just 1/4 of one Ugga Dugga. We might have to go back and do about
At 23 degrees.
yeah, I gotta do another
Fourth of
20
Ugga Dugga at 23 degrees.
Celsius.
Okay. Just snug is all we need. Click, click.
And we'll just
Mm-hmm.
okay. Those are both tight, as you see. Now this Gotta get this piece back in here. As you see, what sometimes happen on these is when you're pulling all this apart to get this in here, you can like wedge this down in here. Of course, then you wedge it down in there.
So you want to get them in the grooves where they sit.
Kind of get it back in there. And now you see, now we're both,
Snug the brake lines now.
now we're on here. Like Grandpa just said, we will snag the brake lines.
Next we get to the brake lines.
Well,